Yeah.
We just watched the best movie in the whole entire world.
If there were no other movies in the entire wide world. The fuck is that?
Hot Tub Time Machine 2.
We didn't watch Hot Tub Time Machine 2.
No.
That's
we
not
watched something
movie.
even better.
Before we go into what we watched, last time we actually reviewed the whiskey we were drinking. We'll do that again this time. This time,
absolutely.
last time we got the honey Jim Beam and the vanilla Jim Beam. This time we got the apple and the maple.
Yes.
Both are pretty good, but I kind of prefer the maple.
Yeah, I like the maple. It's really good. It's like drinking pancake syrup.
It's a very definite maple syrup flavor, but it's not overbearing.
Yeah,
and it's
like
not,
you took a chug. You've all done it. Like sucked a big suck out of the maple syrup bottle.
That's why all of us have diabetes.
Yeah, it's like that, but it's not as thick. It just has the flavor.
It just has a flavor, and it's not like overly sweet. In fact, it's actually a little bittersweet, which works.
Yeah.
So yeah,
really good.
I recommend both of them.
The apple is really good too.
Mixed together.
Yeah, mixed together is excellent.
It's a better mix than the vanilla and the honey.
It's like a green apple, like a Granny Smith, is what it tastes like.
It's like if you dropped a green apple Jolly Rancher into a Beam and Coke. That's what it kind of tastes like. And
yeah.
I think it's pretty good.
It's really good.
So,
we watched something that neither one of us have ever seen before.
First time we've ever done this on a whiskey review. We watched a movie that neither one of us have seen before. And that movie is 10,000 BC. And I guess there's a reason we've never seen this before. This movie is fucking stupid.
10,000 BC, The Adventures of Dick Dick.
Dick Dick. The character's name is Dick Dick.
They said Dick Dick at least 1,000 times this movie.
It's PG-13, which is crazy.
Yeah.
This is made by Roland Emmerich, who has made films I've liked. He's made a lot of movies I haven't.
Yeah.
Train.
Trains.
Train! Another train! Family Guy reference.
Yeah.
Roland Emmerich made Independence Day, the first one and the second one. The first one's a good movie. The second one, oh my god, you haven't seen that yet, have you?
No, I have it over there, though. I got it on Blu-ray.
That movie is fucking horrible.
We have a whole slew of things to watch here now. I got, like, an excellent deal on some Blu-rays, and I have at least 100 movies that I've never seen before on Blu-ray.
Roland Emmerich also made The Day After Tomorrow, which I thought was a decent movie.
Yeah, I like that one.
And he made the 1998 Godzilla film, which is mostly shit on by critics, and yes, I acknowledge it's a bad movie, but there's something about it that I just like.
Well, don't they use the Go Go Godzilla song in that one? Go Go Godzilla.
Oh, you mean the Blue Oyster Cult Godzilla song? No, I think they may.
I think they used that in that movie, and that was like one of the best parts of the whole entire movie.
Maybe they did. I have it on Blu-ray.
Because when he gets to the city, and like it just busts out in that song, it's Go Go Godzilla.
Oh no! Drinking in 3D.
Ooh ah!
Did you ever watch SCTV? As a kid, SCTV was a skit comedy show that was like based out of Canada. It was like Canada's version of Saturday Night Live.
I know what you're talking about.
That's where Rick Moranis got his start, and they used to do Vampire 3D, and it was Joe Bolster and John Candy, and they would do that. Anyway,
that's great.
So we just watched 10,000 BC. This movie was fucking stupid, and it's one of those cases where a different filmmaker, with a little bit of a rewrite of the script, could have made this a good movie.
Yeah.
But they didn't, so we got a shitty movie.
Oh, it was terrible. Like, and it wasn't because of the acting or anything.
No, the acting was really good.
Yeah, the acting was great.
The people were fine, and they were doing what they were directed to do. I had no problem with the acting in this film. And the set design was really good.
Yeah.
But the CGI, Jesus Christ.
Some of the corniest CGI I've ever seen. When was this movie made?
Like 10 years ago.
Well, there's no excuse for that.
Nah. Anything that was made after 1998 that has bad CGI, there's no excuse for it.
No, there's no excuse for that. There were parts where they're running, and it's clear that it's them in front of a background of a green screen because
Yes.
they just don't blend at all. They're like,
There's a part where there's a mammoth stampede, okay? And it's so poorly rendered, the mammoth jumps over a guy and doesn't even land on the ground. There's like this much space between the mammoth's foot and the ground, and it keeps running, but over the ground. Like, dude,
it was so terrible on that.
if this was 1993, I'd excuse that, you know? Like,
Which, that's messed up, too, because they had plenty of other parts with mammoths and other animals that
looked
were
fine.
good. Yeah.
There was a tiger that... The CGI tiger on Walking Dead looks far more real than this shit.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a poor excuse for a tiger.
Now, this-
Saber-toothed tiger.
This movie is supposed to be... it takes place 10,000 years BC, which makes it 12,000 years ago. Why do they all have better looking teeth than I do? And how come nobody they're traveling over the course of like days and days and days. Nobody grows facial hair?
Yeah.
This is 10,000 BC, and they all have perfectly groomed facial hair,
Yeah.
like perfectly trimmed goatees with it shaved on the sides.
Never a hair out of place.
Like they all have long dreadlocked hair, except for one kid. But he's old enough that if he had never had a haircut, his hair would be long too.
Yeah.
There were so many inaccuracies in this movie.
There really was. I don't know what they were thinking when they made that. But
Who greenlit this fucking movie?
I don't know. It must have came out at a time that these kind of movies were popular.
Oh, it did. It was that time when the catastrophe movies, Volcano and Tornado, Twister. Well, Twister was actually an alright movie, but
Yeah.
it's a dumb movie. But Twister is a watchable film.
I like Twister.
This is. I will never watch this movie again. Not even for fun. Yeah, this movie was fun.
It was a lot of fun to watch, though. This is the most racist movie that you've ever watched.
It is. And how the fuck... They go on a 3-day journey where they start in the mountains where there's snow, then they go into a jungle, and then they're in the fucking desert in 3 days.
Yeah.
Walking.
I didn't understand that. Like, it was some big, long adventure, but it really, like, all that stuff's so close together. These people didn't know what was on the other side of the mountain, but they climbed over it one day, and there was a jungle over there. They're in the snowy place because it started snowing. What do they call it? The white rain.
The white rain.
When the white rain came, like the icy white rain. Like, okay, you got a word for icy. You got a word for rain, but you know what fucking snow is?
No, I've heard this movie was bad. I had no idea it was this bad. This was a bad movie.
Oh, I thought it would be more entertaining than it was.
You know, that's what I thought, that it would be one of those movies that we could... I mean, we laughed at the jokes we were making about it, but it wasn't one of those movies that you could laugh at, that the movie was self-aware.
Yeah.
This movie tried to be a movie.
Oh, yeah, it really did.
Like, Asylum versions of these kind of movies are all awesome because they're not really trying to be movies.
Yeah.
This tries to be a film. It like...
They wanted an Oscar.
Yeah. Yeah, Roland Emmerich was going for his Oscar. Didn't quite work out for him. I can't say enough. I mean, there's some things we watch where like, I can't say enough good. There's not enough bad things I can say about this movie. It was fucking terrible.
It was.
I mean, like...
It wasn't the worst movie ever.
No.
It wasn't a good movie.
This isn't even the worst
but-
movie I've seen this year.
Yeah,
But
at least it had some good aspects to it.
the acting.
The acting was good.
Cliff Curtis was in this. And if you don't know who Cliff Curtis is, IMDb him. You'll recognize him once you see him. He was in all kinds of shit.
Yeah. They had the guy from Indiana Jones that's been the guy that looks like that guy in every movie that he's been in. Yeah, I don't know who he was, but if there was a movie with Indians, he was in it.
Oh, 10,000 years ago they spoke English.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they had words for things that don't exist at that time.
Who knew, right?
I don't know. Thankfully, the movie was not that. Usually, movies like this go like 2.5 hours long. This was like an hour and 45 minutes. So it came and it went, but my God, that was a hard sit. If I'd have been watching this with my wife, and my wife was shooting me messages about this movie about how it never got a critic screening. And the fact that the main girl in the movie has blue eyes, but the genetic mutation that caused blue eyes, which I've got. What color are your eyes? Hazel, yeah. Mine are blue-green. Right. If I could change emotions, like I had a friend named Becky, who we're not friends anymore now, but I remember this girl standing in front of me and freaking out because I got really upset about something, and I was like, what? She's like, I just watched your eyes change from blue to green. And I was like, yeah, they do that. And then I found out that's not that common. And I thought that was just a thing that happened. But yeah, my eyes changed from blue to green. It's not a massive change. It's a very slightly noticeable change. But
I have a ring of fire around my pupil.
That's jaundice. That's alcohol poisoning.
It's been there for my whole life.
Because your mother drank when she was pregnant with you.
No, it's because she did the deed with the devil. And I'm Satan's son.
I met your dad. He's pretty evil.
Yeah.
He's too drunk to be evil.
Yeah. No, he's not my real dad. He's just filling in for the devil.
So you can say you put the devil through a wall once?
Yeah.
There's a story we'll tell one day.
Yeah.
Put his father through a wall. I saw the repaired wall. It happened.
Stuff happens.
Shit happens. My biological dad, I wish I could dig him up and throw him through a fucking wall. Piece of shit. But anyway, this I don't know. We saw this like, oh, this is a movie we both never seen. Let's do this for a drunk review. We never did that before.
Yeah.
God damn, I wish I'd have picked something else.
Yeah, we had a couple other choices too.
The extended edition, like I actually really like the Dwayne Johnson Hercules movie. I think it's a genuinely good movie. In fact, the year it came out, I put it in my top 10 films of the year.
Oh yeah.
But he has the extended edition, which I have not seen.
I was thinking we should have did that one since we watched a rock movie today.
Yeah, we saw Rampage earlier.
Yeah, we should have did the rock movie tonight too. That would have been a good tie together.
Yeah.
But yeah, we should have totally watched that instead.
Never watch 10,000 BC. Go see Rampage.
Yeah, absolutely.
We didn't talk about this in our other review video. Rampage, the video games. Have you played? Which games have you played? Rampage games.
The regular one.
The arcade one, or
yeah.
We own a couple of the home console ports for Rampage, but nothing beats that classic arcade button smash. You know that movie, that game defined button smasher.
Oh yeah. Because that's all you had to do was just smash the button. Yeah. That was a lot of fun.
Rampage was a good movie. This was not.
Yeah.
Next week we're going to watch Super Troopers 2. It will be better than this.
Oh yeah, I guarantee it. No matter how stupid it is, it'll be better than 10,000 BC. I just don't get it. The fucking movie was terrible.
Well, it's one of those movies.
How could you make such a good premise of a movie be so bad?
This was at a time when studios were greenlighting these kinds of movies left and right. You know, Day After Tomorrow, say what you want to about that movie, it was actually a well-made film.
Yeah.
Well, I can't even say this wasn't a badly made film because some of the effects were good. The practical effects were all good. I mean, like we've said a couple times, the acting. Cliff Curtis, who I like everything he's ever done, is in this movie. I think he died, didn't he?
I'm not sure.
I don't remember. I checked out like an hour into this movie. It's one of those that I've thought about buying a couple times, so I'm actually very glad that I saw it.
The only thing that kept us going was the jokes that we made. about the movie while we were watching it.
This is a good get some friends together and have a couple drinks and watch this movie and just everybody shout shit at the TV.
Just say what you're thinking while you're watching it. It's
Like,
so much fun.
How do they have perfect white teeth? It's 10,000 years ago. Dentists didn't exist. Toothpaste didn't exist.
The entire storyline of the movie was the guy fell in love with the blue-eyed girl and he wanted a piece of ass.
Yeah.
And that's the only reason this whole entire movie exists.
He
Because
gathers
he
an
was
army
trying
of
to
people.
get the ass.
He travels over like thousands of miles just so he can have sex with this girl. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, she was kind of pretty.
Well, she was. She was very, very pretty.
And then a year later, he was sick of her shit.
Well, yeah. She's never going to let that go. Oh, you crossed the desert for me last time. Yeah. Yeah, you won't even dig the trash out or do the dishes. What happened to the man that I fell in love with? They crossed the desert for me.
Bitch, we all grow up, goddammit.
She
You
got
know,
railed by 7,000 dudes on her travel to the pyramids.
You know, for a movie called 10,000 BC, this was one of the most historically inaccurate films I've ever seen. It's sad when a B movie, the last one we did was Abraham Lincoln versus Zombies. That was a more historically accurate film than 10,000 BC, a film that was released to theaters. Abraham Lincoln versus Zombies wasn't.
How can it be historically accurate when the world's only 6,000 years old?
Oh no, those jackasses think it's only 2,000. The creationists.
Yeah. No, you had 2,000 before and 2,000 after, so this just had 4,000.
There are rocks at the bottom of the Grand Canyon that are 1 billion years old.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's science. I don't
Not
know.
10,000 BC.
I don't know what else to say about this movie. I don't even know how to make this video funnier because all it is just me being pissed off that I just sat through an hour and 47 minutes of shit. Even the picture right now, the frozen picture, is a dude like, this with a saber-toothed tiger.
He's about to get molested by that tiger. Maybe if you watch behind the story, it'll make it better for you.
I have a very strong feeling that that's not true. This is one of those movies that I don't know how it happened. Like, some movies you watch and you're like, okay, I can see how a studio exec on paper looked at that and went, you know what? Yeah, let's give that a shot. Let's see what happens. What's the worst that happens? We lose a little. This one,
There's an alternate ending. Maybe that makes it better.
If the alternate ending is aliens showing up, then awesome. Now, there was one part of the movie I said, if they do this, this will be my new favorite movie. This is, of course, not my favorite movie, but they totally fucking threw a ECW style, threw this kid off of a fucking balcony through a table.
The fucking pyramid, yeah. That was great.
After I'm chanting, ECW! ECW!
Yeah.
You know what's funny? Is that so long ago, there are people watching this that have no idea what the ECW is.
Yeah, what the fuck's an ECW?
ECW was an incredibly entertaining wrestling program that existed in the 90s.
That you'll never, ever be able to enjoy. Ever. Because WWE sucked it up and destroyed all the footage of all the classic ECW moments. You can't even watch it. It came on a channel that didn't exist.
Channel 25. Every Tuesday night at 10 o'clock at night, I tell my mom, oh, I'm tired, I'm going to bed. Go to bed, lock the door. I move my TV in just that right spot. And our buddy,
no matter what you did, the whole rest of the week, any other time, this channel would not come in. This was back when you had rabbit ears and fuzzy channels.
This
it
was the day
wasn't
of
digital.
UHF and VHF television.
Yeah, it would not come in. You could try, you could put a fucking satellite on the outside of your house, and channel 25 would not come in until it was time for ECW. About a half an hour before it started, it would start getting fuzzy, and you could get locked in on it. And as it started, the fucking signal came in crystal clear. And it would last the whole entire time you watched ECW. and about 2 hours after
Yeah,
it went off, it
remember
would fuzz out.
The Cool Ghoul would come on afterwards sometimes.
Yeah.
An old, like I Was a Teenage Werewolf, or one of those, like, 50s and 60s horror films would
Yeah.
come on afterwards.
And after that, it would fuzz right out. You'd never see it again until next week.
You know, the first time I ever saw ECW, Matt called me. Our buddy Matt that did the Dark Tower review. He's supposed to going to do the Super Troopers review with us, and if you don't, Matt, if you don't come to the Super Troopers review, you suck balls in the basement of hell.
You can't do that already, anyways. But
yeah, it's true. But he called
you're
me.
a fat bastard. Oh wait.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, we both-
there's something that makes you suck more if you don't come to Super Troopers.
You are the one who is the ball licker. But no, Matt called me one night. He's like, dude, turn your TV to channel 25 if you can. I was like, 25? And I did. And it was Dean Malenko versus Eddie Guerrero. And it was Dean Malenko, because Dean Malenko went to WCW before Eddie Guerrero did. It was Dean Malenko's last match.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the fuck is this? Eddie Guerrero had him in a powerbomb position, threw him up in the air. He did a full flip, caught him, and did a sit-out powerbomb and pinned him. I've never seen anybody do that since.
Yeah.
It was amazing. I was like, what is this? He's like, this is ECW, Extreme Championship Wrestling. The next week I watched it again, and they did a Battle Royal, and it was the first time I ever saw Sabu.
Yeah.
And he threw that chair in front of the rope and hit that other rope. And he fucking hit that chair, hit that top rope, did that flip to the outside. I was like, holy shit.
Amazing.
And I was
stuff that they showed on there, like, it was, you can't even watch HBO and see the levels of fucking blood and violence that you could see on ECW back in the day.
Dude, one of our favorite moments, me and Matt watched this together. I think we were actually sitting together watching this, and it was the episode of ECW where Raven and Tommy Dreamer were fighting outside the ring, and somebody handed Tommy Dreamer a cheese grater. And he did this. And fucking just ground it on Raven's head.
Yeah. That's incredible.
It was amazing, but honestly, it kind of destroyed wrestling.
Yeah.
It kind of did. It was awesome to watch, but it kind of shouldn't have happened. So we're talking about ECW because this movie sucked balls.
Well,
one of my favorite wrestling matches of all time. If I had to list my top 3 favorite matches ever, one of them was an ECW match. Rob Van Dam versus Sabu. They were wrestling, and the ring ropes broke.
Yeah.
And if the fans started shouting, "Fuck the ring! Fuck the ring!" and they finished the match.
That's awesome.
And I have the DVD with that match on it. It's one of the greatest matches in history. I loved that match. They beat the shit out of each other.
Man, they had so many good people in there. Remember fucking New Jack?
I've met New Jack.
He was so fucking hardcore.
You know,
He would push a shopping cart full of fucking cookie sheets and stop signs and shit out to the ring and just chuck it full of shit.
You know what's funny about New Jack? If you meet him in person outside of wrestling, he's actually a pretty nice guy.
That's awesome.
Yeah, our Matt met New Jack a couple times because New Jack used to go to the IWI Bone Crushers.
Yeah.
And Johnny Diamond it's a wrestling thing that it was here in Price. If you don't know what well, I shouldn't even go into that because people are watching this.
They're like,
what the fuck are they talking about?
What are you talking
We're talking about
about
wrestling now.
Yeah, because wrestling's awesome.
Yeah, because there's nothing else to talk about. Well, this fucking stupid movie.
I take that back. Wrestling was awesome.
Yes, it was. It's
not awesome now.
We'll do this and we'll go ahead and shut off this video because it's really not. What was your favorite wrestling match of all time? Your favorite match?
That's hard.
It is hard. I know what mine is.
I have to say the fucking the first TLC match with the Dudleys and the Hardys and Edge and Christian.
That was a great match. That was WrestleMania 2000.
The best match of all time.
That was a good match.
They did all kinds of off the wall shit.
That's the one where Edge speared Jeff Hardy off of the thing. And the Edge and Christian won, didn't they?
Yeah, I think so. They went through the fucking stack of tables. He jumped off of fucking 20-foot ladders. It was just incredible stuff. It was all ECW stuff.
Yeah.
And we hadn't seen that in a few years because ECW was already gone by that point.
They were still around in 2000, but they were done. They were like an afterthought.
I think WWE already owned them.
Well,
by then.
they didn't own them, but Paul Heyman was on the payroll.
Yeah.
Like, they were using ECW as their farm league.
Yeah.
And my favorite wrestling match of all time, WrestleMania 8. Roddy Piper versus Bret the Hitman Hart.
Heck yeah.
That match, to me, as far as a beginning to end match, is the greatest professional wrestling match. Now, I know most people would say Ric Flair versus Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, which is that hour-long match they did that was like no winner.
Yeah.
That was a great match, but in my opinion, that one. But I think one of my other favorite matches, there's a match that Rob Van Dam had with Jerry Lynn, where Rob Van Dam was on the apron, and Jerry Lynn ran towards him and did a sunset flip powerbomb to the outside of the ring onto a table.
Yeah.
That was insane.
That was pretty awesome.
But also, the classic that everybody knows, the Bret Hart Stone Cold I Quit match.
Yeah.
That was amazing. There was so much blood. So much blood.
I think there's so many more matches that were incredible that I just don't remember. Because I could just think of matches from now on, but I couldn't tell you exactly what they were.
Like, Shawn Michaels wrestled Shelton Benjamin in a match, and Shelton Benjamin jumped off the top rope, and Shawn Michaels came up with a super kick.
Yeah.
Best super kick in history.
Oh, yeah, that was fucking badass.
That's how bad this movie is. We're just talking about pro wrestling now. For those of you that don't know, I actually worked in pro wrestling for a couple of years, and that's why I have a different outlook on it than some people do.
I was always a fan.
Yeah.
Everybody said, "Oh, you should go be a wrestler." Well, that requires fucking athleticism.
You could have been with your size.
If I got into it when I was younger, I could have.
Look at Braun Strowman. He does nothing, and he's a pro wrestler.
Yeah, he's not fucking old as shit and have bad knees and a bad back and
ugly face and
bad ankles and
smells
gay
terrible.
Friends and
Yeah. You don't ever know. He might have gay friends.
Well, he might, but they're not that gay.
Oh, probably not.
Like, I think I've got the gayest friend in the world.
Penis smells fantastic.
I use Suave.
Alright, so that was our drunk tirade on pro wrestling. 10,000 BC, I can't even... If you're going to get drunk with your friends and make fun of a movie and just rip on it the whole time, absolutely. But for entertainment value, stay the fuck away from this movie.
Yeah, fuck 10,000 BC. Yeah, Scrooge on it.
10,000 Jizzy. Alright, that's it.
Join us next week for some more dumb shit.
Yeah, next week. I date these things by saying this. I don't give a fuck. Super Troopers 2 is next week, and followed by Avengers Infinity War. Which, being a comic book fan, I already know what's going to happen, but it's going to be fun to watch it happen.
Yeah, absolutely.
Spoiler alert, Captain America dies. See you later.
See ya.